Is winning an argument a good strategy? Well, chances are that it is not. And let me explain what I mean by using some of the principles that we learned from The Art of War by Sun Tzu. What Sun Tzu teaches us in The Art of War is that we fight a war not because we won a war, it is because of the value it brings, the peace that it can result in, so that we can create value. For example, to build a nation where people can live happily together. But look at what we do in an argument. Now, many people, they want to win an argument not because of the value that it can create. Rather, it is because they can't afford to lose. They are arguing so that they can satisfy their ego. And if this is the case, it will not be a good strategy. And let me explain in two aspects of it. Number one is that when you are arguing for the sake of arguing, then you are unwittingly create enemies. Why? Because when you are arguing for the sake of arguing, you are forcing your view on another party. You are as if creating a war with the other party. And because you are forcing your view, so the other party will not accept it readily, or even if they accept it in appearance, actually deep in them, there could be animosity, there could be resistance. So you are actually planting the seed for their future retaliation. So you are not really creating any value, rather you are creating harms. And this is really not a good strategy, is it? So this is number one. When you argue for the sake of arguing, you are actually creating unnecessary enemies. And number two can be even more devastating. Now, what we learned in The Art of War is that we must use deception as and when necessary to protect ourselves. So, for example, we may let the enemy feel that we are actually very strong when in fact we are very weak, or that we are near when in fact we are far. Why? Because we don't want the enemy to attack us. It's a kind of camouflage. But what happens if you argue? When you are arguing, actually you are doing three things to your disadvantage. Now, why an enemy can defeat you? That's because you give them the opportunities. Sun Tzu used an analogy of a hawk attacking its prey on the ground. Now the hawk is in the sky, and then the prey is on the ground. And when the hawk sees the prey, it will just swoop down to catch and kill. So, although the hawk is capable of killing or catching the prey, if the prey doesn't come up, if the prey is in hiding, it doesn't give the hawk the opportunity to attack. So you can be all ready to attack, but if the enemy doesn't give you the opportunity, you will not be able to defeat the enemy. So this is what happens when you are arguing, because you are actually exposing yourself to the enemy and give them an opportunity to attack you. So this is number one. And number two is that when you are arguing, it could be that you are unwittingly revealing something that are to your disadvantage. It could be that you are revealing your weaknesses. It could be that you are revealing your fear. It could be that you are revealing your emotion instability and things like that. And so it actually gives the enemy more opportunity to see how they can attack you. So your camouflage is gone. And that's number two. Number three is that when you are arguing, you would be emotionally unstable. Now, what we have learned in The Art of War is that one of the biggest reasons for a leader to fail, for an army general to fail, is that they are angry. When they're angry, it can lead them to do something wrong or something silly, simply because they are emotionally unstable. So when you are arguing, actually you are putting yourself in that state of presence. And again, it can be something to your disadvantage. So if we look at what can happen to you, in fact, if you argue for the sake of arguing, it can actually bring you more harm than good. Of course, there are cases when argument is necessary because you need the other party to really know what you think, or that you need the other party to understand how they can work with you by probably improving some of the things that they do. So in other words, there are arguments that are aiming for positive result, not just to satisfy ego. And if this is the case, then you are arguing for the sake of the value that you're going to create. That is going to be a very different thing. Now I'm trying to use argument as a case to explain the principle of handling conflicts and try to draw in the principles that we learn in the art of war and to put them into use in real life situation. I hope you'll find the video useful. Please let me know how you feel, because you help me when I produce the video in future. And thank you very much for your support. It's Tekson here, saying goodbye.